The high ground of Texas is a place like no other. Independent, self-reliant, strong, low cost of living, and profitable. Stretching from the northern borders of the Texas Panhandle south to the Permian Basin, this stretch of Texas is fertile ground for industry. Our workforce is highly educated. We do our jobs with old-school work ethic and hard-nosed discipline. There's no place like Texas. It's not just a great state, it's a state of mind. And it is said that you don't live in Texas. Texas lives in you. This is the high ground of Texas, a 51st state of mind. A regional economic development coalition, High Ground members are both large and small. We're economic development corporations, city and county governments, chambers of commerce, workforce groups, utilities, colleges, universities, and industry associations. Our members compete with each other, but more importantly, we work together to get the job done.
Part of the game is about relationships.
The people that I've met through the high ground that are not only my competitors, but are my allies.
We're able to lay down our county lines, our city lines.
And it's not big against small, it's not north against south, it's everybody's in this together.
The concept of thinking globally, acting locally is really in place here.
For over 2 decades, the high ground of Texas has influenced economic growth in the region by expanding the existing economic base. The high ground is also successful in recruiting new industries to the region, including dairies, customer service centers, value-added food processing, and alternative energy, such as wind, solar, and biofuels. And these new industries have fueled solid growth in other industries. For example, along with dairies came supporting industries, such as Hilmar Cheese.
They produce about 13% of the cheddar and jack cheese in the U.S. market. With the new facility they've built in Dalhart, which, by the way, just announced its first major expansion, they're going to move that up to 20% of the U.S. market. I think we've already put the squeeze on Wisconsin.
In Muleshoe, 9 years ago, we had 2 dairies. Now, within a 14-mile radius, we have 14 dairies. This has increased our census at our schools. Last year, our community passed a $25 million school bond. We've made additions and renovations to all 4 of our campuses, and that hasn't been done in 40 years.
Agriculture, aviation manufacturing, food processing, transportation, oil and gas, ethanol production, and wind energy thrive in the high ground. Manufacturing from clothing to drilling rigs, playground equipment to natural gas transportation modules, oil vacuums to turboprop conversions happen here because of high ground marketing initiatives.
People are so curious how we're able to make an organization that covers such a large geographic area work so well.
Cooperation is a real key term in doing economic development and trying to represent this part of the country to the rest of the world.
We are a regional economy working within a global economy, and it's very important that we take care of each other.
We're still competitive. If the project comes down between me and a neighboring town, we do the best we can for our community, but it's still a regional effort.
If there's going to be an industry that's going to locate, I want to see it locate in Borger, Texas. But if it doesn't locate in Borger, I want it to locate in the high ground area.
You know, we may compete head-to-head with one another, but we do it on a level playing field.
We recognize that if one community benefits in the high ground, eventually all communities are going to benefit in the high ground.
We have many instances of a prospect visiting one community and then being taken to the next community by the first community.
Relationships and a regional attitude are the bottom line. In the high ground of Texas, small communities compete for new industry right along with the big ones.
By utilizing the high ground, a company, rather than having to deal with multitudes of cities and communities, deals with one organization that takes the guesswork out of the proposal work, the process, and helps them eliminate their time and effort needed to evaluate a site.
This organization enables me to compete with everyone else.
That allows me to put Borger, Texas, almost around the world.
The high ground of Texas is fertile ground for industry, centrally located, transcontinental interstates, and the best highways in the nation, major rail hubs, 3 international airports, high technology, world-class universities and technical colleges, low cost of living, and everything you need to live well and prosper is here in the high ground.
From Odessa, Texas to Perryton, Texas, there's a diverse availability of resources.
Within that geographic area, we offer some of the best infrastructure, some of the best incentives that businesses will find throughout the United States.
Those are local incentives, and that makes a great flexibility in what kind of package we can offer someone.
Good quality land, reasonably priced land for agricultural and other industrial activities is a good reason to locate here.
Hexcel is currently the #1 wind producer in the United States. We are also one of the top 8 lowest utility companies per kilowatt hour, which brings an affordable, low-cost utility price to this region.
And you'll find a very high level of productivity throughout the region in employee availability to serve new industries.
One of the things that struck me in moving here from across the country was how really very kind and genuine the people in this region are. And for a business looking at this area, they see that, they feel that almost immediately.
And most people, when they move there, they say, well, I've been moved to the edge of the earth. And we always tell them, well, it's not the edge of the earth, but you can see it from here. But the thing is, once we find somebody that has moved to West Texas, we can't get rid of them.
The quality of life is just totally different here than it is in an urban center. The rush hour here is a rush 5 minutes.
And the high ground of Texas benefits dramatically from being a low-tax state.
That's one of the reasons that Texas is a top 3 business-friendly state. Another reason is fewer regulations.
If you compare that environment here, as opposed to, for example, California, it's night and day. We have companies who have operations in California and who've established new operations here in the high ground. They will tell you firsthand, it's all the difference in the world.
The history of the high ground dates back to 1988. 3 visionary organizations saw an opportunity by combining local economic development efforts.
The cost of economic development activities was far too great to be borne by small communities. And there was a need to try to find some mechanism to bring together the resources of all these communities to achieve a critical mass.
Southwestern Public Service Company, now Xcel Energy, helped to develop the original high ground through their internal economic development department.
In addition to Southwestern Public Service Company, the founding entities were actually the South Plains Association of Governments and the Panhandle Regional Planning Commission, along with the workforce development programs on both the Panhandle, in both the Panhandle and the South Plains area.
SPS administered the high ground for its first 10 years. But when the company restructured in the late 90s, the members of the high ground stepped up.
I don't think the communities took real ownership of the high ground until SPS basically just said, we're not going to do economic development anymore.
The high ground originally included only the Texas Panhandle and South Plains region. During reorganization, we added staff and annexed a portion of the Permian Basin and West Texas area, strengthening the high ground with a new group of dynamic city and regional partners. We've been full steam ahead ever since. The high ground of Texas plays a major role in delivering the strong economic growth our region is experiencing right now. Our winning strategy combines successful, time-honored initiatives with fresh, new, and aggressive approaches to regional marketing. So now the high ground of Texas is 20 years old. A strong and diverse group of members and supporters representing an equally strong and diverse region of Texas. The high ground of Texas, a 51st state of mind.
I'm glad to be here today in the high ground of Texas to congratulate High Ground on a 20-year anniversary. 20 years of working together in a spirit of cooperation results in jobs, it results in capital investment, and it lays a bright foundation for the future.
When someone's looking at this area, they already know if we have what they want. But what they do want to know is if we're going to welcome them, if we want them here, if we have good schools, if we have good churches.
Whether you're looking at high energy consumption, or you need a lot of land, or you just really need someone that will take your business in and help you grow and really take it in as one of their own. That's what the high ground's about.
From a military standpoint, the high ground is the advantageous position, the position that you want it to be in.
The high ground is unique.
Everybody is looking forward to show the whole world what makes us different from everybody else.
60 counties, can you imagine that large expanse of geography? It's larger than 17 other states. Ultimately, our end result is to build wealth for this region, and we're doing a darn good job of it.